Still looking at you, Jeff. Good evening, everybody. I call to order this regular meeting of the Elk Grove Park District. Today is March 10th, 2016. Kathy, can I have a roll call, please?
President O'Malley?
Here.
Commissioner Sauter? Commissioner Biedke?
Here.
Commissioner Cook?
Here.
And Commissioner Walls is absent tonight.
Okay, and I did speak with Commissioner Sauter, and he should be here in a couple minutes. He's stuck on traffic on Weisterfield. First order of business, I've got two sets of minutes, the February 25th, 2016 Committee of the Whole meeting and the regular meeting of February 25th, 2016. Do any staff or commissioners have any changes to these two sets of minutes? Hearing none, all I need is a voice vote. All those in favor of approving as aye?
Aye.
I will now call to order the public hearing on the 2016 Combined Annual Budget and Appropriation Ordinance. This ordinance has been on display and available for public inspection for the required 30-day period, and notice of this public hearing was published at least 7 days prior to this evening in compliance with the law. Are there any comments or questions from the commissioners? Are there any comments or questions from the public? There being no comments or questions, the 2016 Combined Annual Budget and Appropriation Ordinance is on the agenda for consideration and adoption during tonight's regular meeting. I will entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
A motion having been made to adjourn the public hearing portion of tonight's meeting being made and seconded. May I have a roll call vote, Kathy?
Commissioner Biedke?
Yes.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes, the motion has passed and the public hearing on the 2016 Combined Annual Budget and Appropriation Ordinance is now adjourned. Public communication, any comments from the audience? Go ahead, please.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. If you'd come to the microphone. All I need is your name and not your address.
Colleen Clordy.
Hi, Colin.
Hi. I was just wondering if the board had any thoughts about the School District 59. There are plans to build the administration building, the warehouse, and the kitchen to provide the lunches for District 59 on the property right behind the pavilion.
You would have to, what do you mean, do we have any plans? We have not made any plans. We've not had any formal documented discussions with the school district.
Okay.
Until they actually either approve what they're going to do. We've kind of just minded our own business.
Okay. That's what I was just wondering what the board's position was so far. Now that's-
Our position, we don't have a formal position. Like I said, we try not to speculate on what they may do.
Okay.
It looks like the vote keeps swinging one way or the other. So until they actually do something, I think it's a little fruitless for us to, dream big, if the property was available one way or the other. We have discussed what we would do with it as a park district, but at this point, nothing formal.
Okay.
Tom, you've had some discussions with their superintendent. Anything to add, or any commissioners, anything to add? Is that accurate? We don't have
I
anything?
think the first question was, have we had any thoughts about it? And the answer to that is yes, since the 90s.
Okay.
But what Commissioner O'Malley said was true.
Okay.
We really don't have much we can do right now.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other comments from the audience? Any correspondence? Do any commissioners or staff have any correspondence to share? Hearing none, we are at introduction of a special guest. We have Jennifer Lobosco here. She's our early childhood coordinator. I don't know if you want to do any other formal intro.
Well, I know Jennifer brought some other special guests with her, so I'm going to leave it up to Jennifer to come up. As you recall, though, we had talked about preschool registration and how we are doing very well with preschool registration. We also talked a little bit in the, earlier that we were on our way to becoming accredited, and our preschool program is very, very highly regarded in our community. So that was the opportunity for Jennifer and her staff to come up and talk a little bit about what's happening, new curriculum and things like that. So I'm going to turn it to Jennifer.
So let's count in French. Un, deux, trois. Can you repeat?
Uno, dos, tres.
We love that. Thank you for sharing. Buenas tardes. Grazie for your invitation here today. When you give an Elk Grove Park District early childhood individual an invitation, it's just like the book When You Give a Pig a Pancake. It's a story of fun, mayhem, and adventure. We have come to greet you, say hello, share our name, because that's what we do every morning, but hold on. Let me talk about the purpose of doing that. Everybody has a name. A name is a primary form of identity. It can evoke a plethora of emotions or insight about a particular environment. Furthermore, introducing an individual by name allows you to make life connections network, and even have one to grow on. That's why I'm humbled and happy to once again be here to introduce myself and some of the professionals that make up our successful early childhood team. We will hopefully leave you tonight with more than just one to grow on. So my name is Jennifer Lobosco. I am the Early Childhood Coordinator. It is my pleasure to introduce to you these educators here who will momentarily stand up, and they will let you know how many years of service they've had here at the Park District. So we have our program assistant, Barb Kroc. She's also a 3-4 multi-age teacher. And Barb, how many years?
Been here 23 years.
Thank you. We have one of our FORS teachers, who is also our newly preschool education assistant. That would be Debbie Quinn. Debbie, you could stand up.
I've been here for 16 years.
Thank you, Debbie. And then we also have our team teacher with Mrs. Quinn, who is Diane McDermott. Diane, if you could stand up. She's one of our FORS teachers and is also our summer camp director.
I've been with the Park District 16 years. And I'd like to say hello to all our preschool families and my friends.
Thank you, everyone. So our goal today is not only to make sure you remember our names by making maybe a delightful, positive connection or two, but for you to also make a purposeful connection with us on how we extraordinarily service families each and every day. 2015 was an exciting year of embracing change for preschool, but 2016 is already proving to be an extraordinary year. Still embracing change, but rallying and working together to address challenges, both positive and negative. This year we had a record number of visitors at our community open house. 46 visitors this year, 41 last year. And for our 2016 preschool registration event, we were up 17 families from last year. Currently, out of 222 available preschool spots, we only have 17 left. We are sold out in our 4-year-old program, and we only have a handful left in the 3s. These are magnificent numbers, and we're proud to share that with the community. 92% capacity is not a bad thing in March when we're talking event into September. So then I'd like to say, we would definitely need one more room built at the preschool. Because of our stellar staff that always shines and the community energy that's historic and extraordinary, I believe this warrants one more extra room. Let's get these children in here from all the surrounding communities. So when you invite early childhood to be here, it's one thing, but when you invite us to speak, that's a whole nother ballgame. So exactly what does that mean? That means we share our purpose, our philosophy, and our vision in servicing our families intentionally and actively. Best practices and research proves that children in general learn to make sense of their world through the wisdom and experience of play. While there are differences in early childhood approaches, the common thread is that practice and curriculum must be adapted to meet maturing needs, abilities, and interests of each individual child. In remaining true blue to early childhood foundations and the power of play rooted and nurtured by Martha Bauer, the Elk Grove Park District Preschool is committed to safe, nurturing, developmentally appropriate, play-based learning experiences that begin with the child. Our play-based program is purposeful and intentional. It promotes a flowing use of time, a sense of well-being and imagination, fertilizing brain play for neural growth, recognizing blocks as a fundamental foundation for learning, exploring the outdoors to heighten all of the senses, and engaging children in hands-on learning. In response, however, to addressing the revised Illinois Early Learning and Development Standards, revised in 2013, and to support kindergarten readiness, as kindergarten has largely become full day nationwide, January of this year we put training and lessons in motion for our new curriculum called Get Set for School, a division of Learning Without Tears. The Get Set for School curriculum is a 3s and 4s curriculum that allows readiness to kindergarten, developmentally appropriate lessons, and builds on what children already know, uses multi-sensory learning styles, is easy to teach, and offers engaging strategies that invite active participation, which you will soon see. Its research-based success supports meeting the emerging needs of each and every child's interests through the best practice of play. Before we close with our mini lesson with Get Set for School, I would like to thank you for this opportunity or oportunidad, but would also like to invite you now to be our guests at preschool. We only have 2 more months. Why not be one of the April guest readers? Or why not join us for a game of color bingo? Or why not interpret at the art table as we self-create our own experiences? Why not act out a trip to the grocery store in the dramatic play area? Why not sing hello with us in the home languages of our classmates? Or learn the numbers in French? 1, 2, 3. We are the happiest place in town, and our name is Elk Grove Park District Preschool. Remember what really is in a name. And now for our Get Set for School mini lesson, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Debbie Quinn and the team. So thank you and enjoy these extraordinary times of who we are, what we are, and why we are. Thank you. Grazie.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Hi, everybody. My name is Debbie Quinn, and I am the assistant for education at the preschool. And I am having some of the tools from Get Set for School passed out to you. So, a large part of what we do at preschool is letter formation, especially in the 4-year-old program. However, this is going to start with the 3s as well. So go ahead and open up what you might call sticks, and take a look at the different sizes and what they are. So it looks to you like a stick, and it does to the children as well, but it's not. This is
Give it over to her.
your big, this is your big line. This is your little line. This is your big curve. And this is your little curve. So go ahead and make some letters that work for you.
You can make upper and lower.
Right, so, and as you can see, what the children are going to learn is that, you know, the big line and the big curve will make the D, the T, the X. But the nice part is that for many years that I've been teaching at the preschool, we do letters in families. And if you just take the lines, you can do an entire family. So you would start with a K, and then you could do the V, and then you can do the W and the X. And the child has now done an entire letter family just by using these sticks. So then when they're done, you can go ahead and open up this, and this is really fun. Because they've all seen this before, but then go ahead and open it and see what you have. You have the same pieces, exactly the same. So go ahead and always start at your smiley face, so they'll always know that that's the starting point. And then go ahead and make your K. So press it down. Big line's going to press down. Take it off. And then do it on this. Take it off. And then you form the K, and then they can take it away. Then go ahead and take the bottom, start at your smiley, and make the K again. And so on. So, to them, it's fun. And they don't even realize that they've just learned in about 10 minutes 4 letters of the alphabet. So that's why we really, really love getting these tools and getting this curriculum, because everything that we do is play, and but what better way than to do it with all of these different kinds of tools.
No infringement on Etch-a-Sketch?
It is an Etch-a-Sketch, but they don't know that. They know it is the right on wipe off. But I'll go ahead and try it though. Does it actually, if you shake it, come off?
Yes.
Does it? I've only used the lever, so I
really.
really didn't know that.
That slide works better.
But thank you. Thank you for playing with us.
Oh, you want these back?
I do have these back.
Hey Jennifer, Tammy has my email address. I'd be glad to read a story or do something. If you can send me the date and, you know, some available times.
That would be really fun. The kids love that.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll look at my spring break schedule and see if you're in session when I'm on spring break.
Very cool.
Very cool. That's wonderful.
You don't even know?
They're watching the golf.
It's great. They're saying nice. I play with that just gets you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions or comments for Jennifer while she's here, or any of her staff?
I just want to say, for all the years I've been on the board, and even before I've been on the board, you and everyone at the preschool center does a wonderful job. So keep up the great work. Thank you very much for everything.
Thank you.
And we can actually only hint about it a little bit. We actually have Colleen here, and she's talking about, you know, what we could do with the pavilion behind there. We can't really say, but yes, when you start talking about adding and additions and stuff like that, yeah, there's a lot of talk on what could happen. But we have Ben, who would have to build it, and Tammy that would have to develop it, and Rhonda that would have to pay for it. So we'll continue to stay in touch with you on even addition over at the book.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you. Next up, we're at 7A. I do need a motion and a second to approve the final payment application from Train US Incorporated for the 2015 capital project. Again, the pavilion boiler 1 and 2 replacement. This is in the amount of $9,927.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions regarding this payment?
What was the budget on that whole project?
106,000. I think we were around 99.
Yeah,
Run this to him.
and this is the last.
Yep, we're done.
Beauty.
Any other questions, comments? Did I get a motion in a second?
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes. Next up is the approval of the proposal submitted by Halogen Supply Company Incorporated for the Pavilion Aquatics, the lagoon pool filter refurbishment in the amount of $45,950.
So moved.
Second?
Any questions regarding this Pavilion Aquatics?
Couple questions.
Go ahead,
for
Commissioner
Ben.
Cook.
Ben, I asked you earlier, I just want to share it on air. How much would this cost to actually replace new versus get a refurbished part? And about how often do we have to have it refurbished?
So to answer your first question, it's about $110,000 for new Filtrex. They don't make this model. The model we're going to have, the model we have is going to be refurbished to their newer models. So there's still a 50% savings at least. We'll get a 15-year warranty on this new one. It wouldn't have to be looked at for another 15 years. Probably we'll look at it every 10 though. But this unit right now is 20 years old, so.
Okay. And they don't have ones like when you turn ours in and get a new one in stock, ready to go?
No.
If they're not, in other words, if they're, I'm looking at
build
the
them
downtime
older.
of being down 5 weeks, is there any way to get around that? In other words, if we're not using the same, if they're upgrading us to a better part, then
Yeah,
why is there a 5-week turnaround time to get that if they're not using their old one to actually refurbish?
Well, so there's a little travel time in there too, because I think it's in Georgia, Filtrex, but it takes a little while to refurbish. these systems. So what I mean by when they're upgrading, some of the parts of the current filter are obsolete, so they're giving us the newest parts available. So we're anticipating it's going to be less than 5 weeks, but we need to put a little contingency in there if there's an issue. So it's not just, it's removal, ship it, and then ship it back and install it. So 5 weeks includes all of that.
And, you know, we just did the Pavilion Aquatics project, but the lagoon pool really didn't get impacted by that. What's the kind of the life expectancy now? I know we've had liner issues in the past and everything else on that pool.
Of the pool or the?
Of just the lagoon pool piece. I mean, if you guys started doing any long-range planning, thinking
Yeah.
about when that's got to get redone?
So I had a nice educational session today at Illinois Pump. I'm learning a little bit more about pumps than I thought I'd ever understand, and you got to really pay attention to your pumps because they're in corrosive environments and they're not built really to last 20 years. So we are looking at, there's 2 pumps in the lagoon that were not touched that are probably going to be reviewed or evaluated because they're 20 years old, and that's a long time for a pump to last. So we have about, what did we say, Tom? 11 pumps or 16 pumps total in all of our systems. So we're going to start tracking every single one and look at them probably in 5 years and then 8 or 10 because we're finding they last about 10 years.
I had a small discussion with the executive director Busby regarding us being down. Hopefully he's going to spoke with you. Everything that we can do in that 5-week period, all maintenance will go into that. That has nothing to do with the actual pump, aesthetics, painting, et cetera. So that once it's open, we're open for about another 11 and a half months.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Kathy, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauer?
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes. Next up, I need a motion and a second to approve a capital purchase of a replacement Ventrac 4500Z rough mower from Burris Equipment, a single source vendor for the total price of $27,324. This does include the trade-in.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauer?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes. Item 7D, I need a motion and a second to approve another capital purchase of a 2016 Avant 760 tractor from Russo Power Equipment, a single source vendor for the amount of $71,464.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
I did have a question on this. I also asked you this earlier, but can you share what, any attachments? I know there's a list of attachments that we could purchase. Do any attachments come with this already?
Yeah, so.
And are there additional attachments that we would look at purchasing down the road?
Yeah, so currently this price includes a bucket, and then we're looking at a stump grinder, which will be part of the, we'll fit it in the budget. I didn't put a price for the 2 tractors we're trading in because we're gonna go to auction. We feel more confident we're gonna get more money. The trading for the tractors, because of how old they are, we're, I think combined $700. We think we go to auction, we're gonna get hopefully 3 or 4 times that, so.
So can we amend this to show that it includes the bucket on there?
Yeah, sorry about
I didn't see anything on there that showed the buckets included.
that. Okay.
So we can just amend the
Certainly.
motion to show that that includes it.
Just out of curiosity, now that it came up, what would the stump grinder have cost?
I think they're around 6-7 grand. So we're gonna be right at budget
With the stump grinder?
with what we believe we'll get at auction.
So, the
gonna
stump
go-
grinder's gonna get purchased?
Yes.
It's not on this?
I didn't
okay.
put, we'll buy it through this, but we're gonna wait till we go to auction, see how much we get.
Oh, okay.
That's
I got
all.
it.
We're-
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I couldn't
that's-
put a trading value because I didn't wanna put $700 and I don't think that's fair.
Right.
So we're gonna go to auction in May with some of Jeremy's equipment. And we're confident we're gonna get more than $700 for both of those tractors.
Yeah, it seems like with all the trees we're still thinning out with the emerald ash borer, a stump grinder might be a good thing.
Well, there are a lot, we need the stump grinder. The nice thing is we won't have to rent the stump grinder, which is $1,500 a week. and we can drive this vehicle into anywhere in the park and stump grind and get out. We don't need to drive a truck with the trailer or the stump grind. It's so much more maneuverable than, so.
Any other questions or comments?
Should have known you were way ahead of me.
Kathy, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sauter,
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes. I do need a motion and a second to reject bids received from Green Team North Incorporated, Trees R Us, and True Green for the herbicide services identified in the 2016 operations budget.
Second.
Ben, can you tell us a little bit why you're looking for
Sure.
the board to reject this?
So the bids actually came in well, under budget. The issue we had was the Trees R Us had a math problem. They didn't calculate both applications. We have a spring and a fall, so their bid was not accurate. And so have a conversation with Tom Busby and Tom Hoffman, we felt we needed to disqualify them. And we decided that, you know what, let's just throw all the bids out. Looking at the amounts, you know, we may or may not go back out to bid.
What's Plan B?
Get proposals from companies.
Oh, so you don't have to, you can do an
Because of where
RFP,
these
you don't
numbers
have-
fell, I don't necessarily.
Since it's under the
Under the
$20,000
yeah, got it.
threshold,
Okay.
we can just go ahead and then negotiate or contract that out.
Okay, makes sense.
And I just didn't think it was fair to add, to take Trees R Us, double their bid, and then True Green. I just didn't feel it fair to do that. So I just said, you know, I'm gonna throw them all out and start over.
It's a good place to negotiate, start negotiations though, when you go back.
I don't want to say that.
But Trees R Us, their references came back very strong.
Yeah, they,
So we were happy with the company, it's just unfortunate they made a error in their bid.
yeah, well, they do a lot of our removals, our tree removals now, so. We like them, it's just, I didn't think it was fair to the other ones because they weren't accurate in their bid.
When you go to have a small discussion with Trees R Us, will you entertain a discussion with True Green? I would think that is
Yes.
also being fair.
Be
because
transparent, yes. and
Yes,
fair,
because
absolutely.
you know True Green doesn't actually sharpen the pencil and come back.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other comments? Kathy, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter,
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes. We are now at items for information. Our leisure services update. Tammy Miller, please.
Yeah, I have a couple of things. Any questions on the reports that I sent out, the fitness center or the rentals report first? I do want to tell you that we just got in today some new equipment up at the fitness center. They were uncrating equipment, and you'll see a lot of new equipment that's going up there, so that's pretty exciting. That's always a good thing at the first of the year. So any questions on that? We have lots of things happening. We're always busy in leisure services. A lot of things can be found in our brochure and on our website, but I just want to highlight a couple of things coming up in the next couple of weeks. Our theater production of Beauty and the Beast Junior, starting tomorrow, which is Friday, March 11th. It runs through the weekend at Prairie Lakes Theater in Des Plaines. Girl Scout Birthday Bash this Saturday, March 12th at the museum. The troops are able to earn a badge called Making Girl Scout History because on March 12th is the 104th anniversary of the first troop of American Girl Scouts. Also on this Saturday is the Doggy Easter Egg Hunt. That takes place at the Hattendorf in the morning at 10 o'clock. Next weekend, which is the 18th and 19th, there are two special events, Breakfast with the Bunny at the Hattendorf and Swim with the Bunny in the afternoon. So the bunny's going to be busy next Saturday. Then we have Aqua Spring Camp starting March 21st and 25th through the 25th. Celebration of Cultures is April 1st. That's a Friday night at the Pavilion, and that is a huge event that celebrates our community's cultural backgrounds and talents. And then finally, the next Big Band Live, where the seniors are inviting you, I'm sure, to dance with them and enjoy the big band, is April 7th, and that's at the Garden Terrace. And the last thing I just want to say is that we're still hiring seasonal staff. We are obviously taking applications via electronically on our website. We're really trying to recruit lifeguards and still some Pirates Cove staff and some counselors. That's my report. I know, I did good, didn't I?
I did have a couple comments on the reports.
Yes.
On the Rainbow Falls one, it looks like you're either mislabeled or missing 1 year, 2015.
Rainbow
On the summary
Falls.
thing over here on the right,
Oh, I'm sorry.
the total admissions.
On total admissions?
Yeah, see, it says 2011 RBF total admissions, it goes 12, 13, 14, 16.
Oh, we do miss 15, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, 14's missed, I don't know.
All
I
right.
didn't know which one it
I'm
was.
sorry, okay.
And then,
Didn't even
one
catch
other comment on the community center, the Rainbow Falls Community Center
Yes.
thing. What changed to drop that number so dramatically?
We lost a church.
Oh, that's right, you actually.
Yeah, we're actually trying to get another church in there. We're in negotiations with one that is looking to go in.
Okay, and then this one isn't so much a question or a comment, but I wanted to, I always talk to you about that fitness center thing and what I look at. That's what I look at.
Okay,
So those are the numbers in the category. I just want to share that with you, so maybe we can
okay,
tweak this thing so that it does that. I don't have to do the math every time.
all right, I will take, can I have this?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's why I brought it.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Tammy. Parks and Planning update, Ben Curcio, please.
Okay, so obviously the weather's been great the last couple weeks, so we've been able to get a jump on a lot of outdoor spring cleanup. We've mulched around this facility, we'll continue to do that in other facilities and start broadening out to the parks. Obviously, this is going to allow us to get on fields and athletic fields quicker this year. So I'm optimistic. I don't want to go on record as saying 100% certain. I think practices this year may start earlier than they have in the last couple of years due to the mild winter. So I want to say that that's a very high probability. So that's a
I
good
just
thing.
hear lightning.
Rain's okay, we just don't need any more snow. So the capital project I want to update you on, ADA Playground, I know you're anxiously awaiting. We're trying to do a thorough process, so I anticipate some renderings and you guys seeing something probably in April. Valerie's meeting with, she just met with Tammy and Jeff for a second time, and she's meeting with preschool. We're going to show it to the management team, we're going to show it to Executive Director Busby, and then we'll show it to you guys, so probably April. The plan is for this project to begin in August, mid-August, and then go through September, so we're on target too. And then eventually we'll show it to the public through SurveyMonkey and a public meeting. Pirates Cove, because of the weather, we've been able to jump on a lot of capital projects outside, like in Pirates Cove. So Pirates Cove deck renovation has started by the concession area. Some of the smaller projects within the park have started, so we're kind of excited. I mean, it's only March, I don't know, 10th today, so we're moving quickly. It's great. The last, a couple other ones, Rainbow Falls Funhouse slide and painting will begin soon. The contractor is under contract. We're just waiting to hear from him, so the next couple of weeks we're going to have the funhouse painted. He thinks he'll have it done by May 1st, the latest, so that'll be good. Johnson Park Fishing Pier will be completed this spring, hopefully sooner with this weather. He's first on our list, according to Bub's Pier Service, so that should be going in very soon. And then the last thing, we're back out to bid for our mowing services, so we'll have a bid opening March 22nd. And that concludes my report.
Any questions or comments for Ben?
A couple of them, Ben. At the last meeting we said, Bob, was it Sherry that was were you able to contact or reach out to Sherry Capella?
I don't have her contact info.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I-
you can email me, or, yeah, that'd be great. I know Valerie would be happy to meet with her.
I have we talked about this last time, I have that page on Facebook that's for, Ralph Sauer, Commissioner, blah, blah, blah. And I put a little update on that page, and she was one of the first ones to comment.
Okay, good. So Candy is, she oversees our web, right? So Valerie's setting her updates, so she'll update it on our side, on the Park District side. So I think an alert went out about the playground, renovations coming soon.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah,
And then, second thing on the Johnson Fishing Pier, was there like a creel check or anything like that done on that pond, lake, whatever you want to call it? To find out what's in there?
Well, you know, we stocked it last fall.
Oh.
Yeah, we put, gosh, I can't now, you put me on the spot. I
I
can't remember.
I vaguely remember that.
So we did
conversation.
last fall, and it's funny, there's a lot of birds around there now. But I can't remember this, species we put in there. It's they give you a whole, obviously they give you everything down to like the small fish.
Yeah, you got some rough fish, bait fish.
And then you got the
bluegills.
bigger fish. And so
Bluegills was.
I can get
was
back, I just
one
can't
of them.
remember.
Yeah,
what.
there's a couple of
It
different
was
species.
about $700-800, but yeah, so we're confident. There was kids, I would say, at the end of, after we stocked it, they were out there. We actually had to put up signs quickly because we didn't have our catch and release signs up, and kids were thinking they could take them home, so
Yeah.
we had to get those up quickly because they're not supposed
And
to.
that is a catch and release pond, right?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Anything else, Commissioner Sauer, that'll do it? Okay, thank you. Golf operations update, Tom Kloss, please.
As Ben said, the weather's been nice. We were fortunate to open the golf course this past week on Tuesday the 8th. It's about 2 weeks earlier than we typically open. Usually the end of March, we get some good weather and we're able to open. So March 8th is definitely a bonus to get some extra rounds in for the year. This time of year, the hours are going to be a little fluctuating. Tonight we're probably going to get frost, it looks like. So, our opening time is scheduled at 9 o'clock. But that varies based on the weather for the day. We changed the clocks this weekend, which is actually nice, so we'll have daylight till about, almost 7 o'clock. So people can actually come out and play after work and get maybe a 9-hole round in. Driving range opened actually the week before, and that's more on a day-to-day based on the weather conditions. If we see that it's going to be a nice day and it warrants opening it, we open it up. It takes minimal staff to open it and sell the balls. During the week, it's touch and go because it doesn't make sense to open on a 50-degree day on a Monday where you're not going to do business to cover your costs. So I encourage people that are going to be thinking about going to the range to either check the website or call the driving range and get an update if it's open for that day if the weather's iffy. Our Bags League finished up. We ran a Bags League this winter, started in January, or last week in January, February, and ran through this week. It was a 7-week season. We had the playoffs last night. Went very well. The teams that played had a great time. We're looking to build on that for next year then. Brian did a good job running it and getting it all set up and doing the scoring and keeping the website updated. So I know he's excited to get it going again next year, get it in the fall brochure, and, we're looking to get those teams up from 9 to, we'd love to have like 20 teams and maybe 2 divisions and feed off of that. Our Miller Shootout this year is Friday, May 6th. It's an event we do every year. It's a 1 o'clock shotgun start. We're going to start signups for that on the 19th. So if people are interested, they can either check the website or call the course, and we'll give them the information on that. Other than that, our event room had a really nice little spurt here. We had a spell where we had 11 out of 13 days where it was in use. Some of them rentals, some of them meetings, association meetings, baseball meetings. But it was nice to have that room used, and some of that feeds into the bar area and the gaming area. So, this time of year, that's typically a slower time for rentals, January and February. So to have those right now was definitely a nice little bonus.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Any questions for Tom? Business services update. Hi, Rhonda, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank
Good.
you. I have several things to mention. First of all, our bond issue closed on March 1st, so you won't be hearing about that until next year, or the end of the year. We have some good news on the natural gas. As you know, prices have been dropping over the past year, and it got to a point that we felt it was advantageous to lock in. So we locked in 33% of our usage at a very favorable rate of just over 25 cents per therm for a year. So we were pleased with that. I mentioned in an email that I attached an unposting audit report to your financial report, or to your check registers. As I think we mentioned before, the voided checks don't show up on the check register, and we wanted you to have a record of that. So we'll attach this additional report to your check register from now on, whenever there's a voided check. As far as RecTrack, which is kind of an ongoing process, as you know, we have the consultant coming out next week again. And finally, I'll mention that yesterday we had our safety fair, which was very well attended. It had a Star Wars theme. We had 91 staff come and several vendors, and I'd like to thank representatives from the police department, Dr. Stephanie Lemung, who is a physical therapist, and she was focusing on injury prevention. We had EAP, which is employee assistance, Paderma, Centos, who gave out some great gloves, and Metro Credit Union. And the safety team also presented in several of the booths, including ladder inspection. We had a leadership quiz, wireless hazards, and decibel level readings. But the fair was really a great success, and I want to give special recognition to Anita Healy, who was very creative and made it a very fun and educational day with our Star Wars theme. So may the force be with you. And that's all I have to report. Does anyone have any questions?
No, thank you. Executive Director update, Tom Busby, please.
Sure. To give you a quick update on QR, Attorney Hoffman and I have been going back and forth for the last week, and Paderma has been negotiating on our behalf the insurance side. And I know I keep on saying this, we're almost there. So I think we have everything ironed out on the insurance side besides one portion, and unfortunately that is an important portion that Paderma is not willing to give on. But we have been in contact with QR, their attorneys, to see what we could do about that, and hopefully we'll have an idea next week so we can continue to move forward with this process. The second item I have is you should have received an email from IAPD, but if you haven't, I put their new, now this is brand new message from their CEO, Peter Murphy. And the one item I want to point out to you is under the education section, which is about 2/3 of the way down. On May 3rd is the Parks Day at the Capitol. And then on May 4th, and they're also going to have a legislative conference. And I don't know if anyone's interested in attending, but if you are, just give me a call and I'll go ahead and register you for that. And obviously that's down in Springfield, because you would be able to meet some of the legislators. And I know that Commissioner Cook and Walls and I attended one a couple Saturdays ago, and I thought that was very informative. Then, to give you some statistics from 2015, we generated 847 W-2 forms for 2015. And out of those 847, 509 lived within the Elk Grove community. So roughly 60% of our employees throughout the year were Elk Grove residents, which, based on the 847, I believe that makes us the third largest employer in Elk Grove. And out of the 500, we had 444 individuals who were 25 years of age and younger. So that makes us the largest employer of young individuals. We also had 122 individuals who were age 60 and above. So those are, I think, some pretty nice statistics, especially, the 509 individuals who live within the Elk Grove community. So, as I like to say, we're putting money back into the community, and we're also educating our young individuals, because for many of them, it's their first time job, such at Pirates Cove. And, I think that's great that we are able to give back to the community. And that ends my report.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Any questions or comments for Tom?
Yeah, just a thank you for those numbers. That's pretty, I'm proud of that anyway, but to have some numbers on it, because I'm a numbers guy, you know.
Great.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can we get a copy of that?
Would anyone else like a copy? I'll make copies if you do.
Old business, do any commissioners or staff have any old business at this time? Hearing none, we'll go to new business. I need a motion and a second for the adoption of ordinance number 366. This is an ordinance providing for a combined annual budget and appropriation of funds for Elk Grove Park District, Cook County, Illinois for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2016 and ending December 31st, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments regarding this ordinance? Kathy, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sauter,
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
And President O'Malley?
Yes. I've got 3 payment of bills. I've got February 25th, 2016, the amount of $135,251.44. March 3rd, 2016, the amount of $1,861,654.24. March 4th, 2016, in the amount of $2,505. Do any commissioners have any questions or comments regarding these 3 sets of bills? I need a motion and a second.
Make that motion.
Second?
Kathy, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter,
Yes.
and President O'Malley?
Yes. Our next meeting date is going to be March 31st. That'll be 3 weeks from today, 2016. It'll be right here, 7 o'clock p.m. I need a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
So moved.
And a second.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Sauter,
Yes.
Commissioner Bianchi?
Yes.
President O'Malley?
Yes. Thank you, everybody. This meeting is now adjourned.
It's maybe the first time ever.